Thank you, Imperial Majesty. And Ambassador. Once again, big round of applause for the most prolific, progressive, passionate Ambassador Tete, please.
Thank you. So as we all know, like I said, this is the African House. Many people call this the African House, the permanent mission of the African Union, and the great ambassador is here. He's been here all day long. He just left a moment ago to go to the Security Council. So he's been here all day long with us, and we are really happy to have His Imperial Majesty, here. So without further delay, I'm going to invite His Excellency. Maybe I should. Yeah, I turn over to His Excellency. Okay, maybe. So to say some few words. Is correct?
I think let me stand with due respect to His Majesty. We would like to welcome you once again, because we did welcome this morning to Gathering, but we thought we should come especially to welcome you to the Africa House. I don't think the name Great Ambassador fits to me, because I'm just a servant of all of you. Majesty, I think this house is blessed by having you today. It's a very symbolic house bearing the name of Mandela. It's Mandela Conference Room. When we were informed that you are coming to New York and our place was chosen to host you, well, we have two feelings. The feeling of joy first, but the feeling also of a very rare opportunity for a diplomat. We have gone so far in science, technologies, and whatever, but every time we move, we find that we are missing something. I think the contribution of our roots is missing. Just take agriculture. We were told we should use chemical products, and now everybody's gone to bio. What we have been doing, well, in our cultures we were told, well, we should be wearing, like my brother and myself, suits and think even in a different way. But it's all not working. So I think really your experience here will be very beneficial. I wish we could have all the 54 African ambassadors in this room. The room is too small. We could not fit here. But I'm sure there will be a time when we have to receive you, all of us. But I was told that you are our humble servant, representing the 54, so I'm here to welcome you on behalf of the African diplomatic community. We talk about peace and development. There is no better way of having peace than having the word of our traditional leaders. The modern tools are there, but we realize that unless we use our traditional tools, then the modern tools will not work. And I think your contribution is great. You have been doing it in our societies. We always remember how we fix our problems before even going to any police or any tribunal. So I think this is the way we should continue to do. We have the continent as the youngest continent. Africa has the 2/3 of the youth population of the world. But which future are we preparing for this youth? if we don't give them the values of our roots, if we don't educate them the way we were educated, I think we are not preparing a future, or even a present, because they are already working with us. So, Majesty, definitely your role here is inspiring for the entire diplomatic community. And we are even more happy that not only traditional leaders from Africa, but also from here, from America, and from other parts have joined us today to share the values coming from the mother of the humanity, which is Africa. Everybody, every human being is an African. Because we all came from Africa. We can sometimes to forget, but we are all African. Majesty, we have a very important diaspora here, dynamic, which has been doing a great job, not only for our countries. As we know, our diaspora is sending more money than what we receive from partners. But it is also diaspora which has preserved our traditions. I think your presence also here is inspiring for our diaspora, on how even being far from home, we should always be ourselves. It's only by being yourselves you can develop yourself, you can move forward. I may be very emotional by having you here, but really this house today is blessed, and blessed forever by having your.
Thank you. We have to try to speed a little bit, but just like the word after the word of wisdom of His Excellency, I think we all know that before we came, before our ancestors got here, before many people, they were native. So a welcome to our shore is act of respect and honor. It is a ceremony performed by North American indigenous tribal chief who welcome visitors to their traditional land. And we said earlier today that there's a similarity between the wisdom of our elders in Africa and the wisdom we see from the Native Americans. So I would like to invite Ambassador Woping Mikin Wangpato of the United Indigenous People and the Tribe of the Americas to the United Nations to come with his team and do. So, okay, please a round of applause as they come in. So the ambassador is here. So, please. Would like to say a few words? Would like to say a few words, please? Thank you, brother.
Akwe, Wunikisak, Notasawis, Wampamikwin, Notasawis, Anawatak, Matakisa, Anawatak, Massachusetts. I want to thank everybody, to Botany, to all of you, most royal and most unique leaders of your home communities from Africa, and all of you unique and most royal leaders from the tribal communities here in North America. And King, thank you for all of your most dedicated work and your honor. We thank you so much. And I would like to present an honor song Today, we are, the indigenous peoples from North America are gathered here today to work in a very, very, very unique and collaborative effort with the kings of Africa and with all of the indigenous people of Africa and the indigenous people here in North America. We want to collaborate. We want to bring back what originally belonged to us, which was peace and harmony and balance, most importantly. So I'm going to sing an honor song for you, King, and for everyone in the room today. We welcome you all to our shores. We also have a tribal chief from the Abenaki community who is going to be presenting something that is very, very important to all of our community in North America throughout Turtle Island. This gift that we are gifting today is something called a wampum belt, which is very important. There's only, I believe, 5 left in the Abenaki community, and this belt is going to the king today. And with this belt, what the indigenous people here in North America, what we want to see come out of this, okay, is collaboration, is new and innovative leadership, and this belt represents a promise. This belt represents a very special promise, a bond that can never be broken. And we're gonna have our tribal chief from the Abenaki come up here and speak a little bit before we gift this belt, and also with an honor song. Okay, so he's gonna speak about the message and the traditional message behind this belt. Okay.
Great. I am known as the Maritana Wounded Bear, the Dole Chief of the Abenaki Nation. These belts are very, very old, and they mean a great deal. The word wampum means to speak, to talk. And that's what these beads, these belts, they have a story to tell. Whether it's the war, whether it's the peace, those belts, marriages, births, whatever, they all have a story. This belt here, I made this belt 12 years ago. The reason I made this belt because we started our ceremonies again. We needed a belt for our lodge. My nephew said we had to have a belt for our lodge, so my friend Bobby Blackbird Redwing came up with the design. The design is the sun in the east and the 5 clans of the Abenaki people. It's the turtle, the beaver, the otter, the partridge, and the bear. And these are the clans of our people. And this belt will go to you and wherever else it will travel, and one day will probably come back to us. So, with many thanks to you and all the leaders here, we wish Griselda, Wasi, love and respect to you all.
Thank you, Chief. So with this belt has been given to you in much honor from the indigenous peoples here in North America. It is now a responsibility for you to pass on this belt to the next community through bridging a relationship with the next community and making a promise to build a new and healthy relationship with a community that you have not. And we would like to see in a year from now that this belt come back here to the indigenous peoples of North America. Okay? And then once it comes back to us, we gift it back to you to take home for good. Okay, so we're going to...
That is a traditional song, a greeting song from chiefs to chiefs, in this case, chief to king, all the leaders. Again, Vivalda, Takwasi, love and respect to you all.
At this time, we're going to sing an honor song. In our cultural tradition, with the respect to all of the tribal dignitaries and the royal dignitaries here, I would ask that if you can, respectfully, as humble as I know how, to stand and honor this honor song that we have for the king today, please.
Yahweh,
war dance in the honor of His Imperial Majesty. Okay, as you can see, this is a really melting pot. You know, now we don't know why we are waiting for this opportunity today, but the reason, the great thing is that today we are here today. We don't know where we are coming from, whether it's Africa or what, we don't care. We are here to start a new relationship, and then this is amazing. Thank you, Ambassador, for making this a possibility and starting, you know, the whole world started in Africa, so kind of the symbolism of starting here in African house, I think is very powerful. Now please, a round of applause. The main reason what we've been waiting for is Imperial Majesty. We've been saying a few words. I know it's a long day, but this is the ultimate reason we've been here. We want to hear from the Imperial Majesty, and he's going to give us his blessings. And hopefully, the next year, when we meet again, the ambassador said today that this is the first year. We call it the Monarch Conference. It just happened that this is the first year. We hope next year we'll be together again. So, okay. So he's going to be, you know, in the normal way, the protocol, you know, the elders. So with all humility, I'm turning over to you to do the right thing and introduce His Majesty.
Well, first of all, we thank God Almighty for bringing our chief king and the chief priest to the United States here. It's a dream come true. We've been thinking about this, planning towards this for the last 5 years. The new African OAU is now African Union, and this is their secretariat they are using now. In other words, when all heads of states in the 54 countries of Africa, when they come to New York for the General Assembly, they will stay here and harmonize their thoughts and agendas before they go to the wider world. So this is the headquarters of the African Union to the United Nations. Luckily, we have the ambassador here, my brother Tete Antonio, His Excellency from Angola, very able, competent, wonderful too, an amiable diplomat. Thank you very much for being with you. We could have been more than this, but we didn't give enough notice to some, I think some great countries from Africa also are aware of this. Ashantiene, the king of Accra, who is also the son of Oduduwa. But we hope that next year, with the current support of UNESCO, they want to support this. They want traditional rulers as stakeholders on world affairs, economy. You see, that reminds me again, before I get to the keynote speech. Our Ooni, the chief king, is the chancellor of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. The only university that has the title Nigeria, University of Nigeria. That's the first university owned by Nigeria. And in his maiden speech this year, he gave us three missions, the 3 bullet points. Follow your dreams. They were doing the graduations for people just finishing college. They call it college here in the University of Nigeria. Follow your dreams, talking to you about the youth. And since our chief king has been on the throne for 6 months and about 3 days now, on the 7th of June, which makes it 6 months, Baba has been on the throne. He has performed wonders. Building bridges across the continent. First of all, across the Yoruba nation, which has not happened for almost for a long time, over a quarter of a century. Not only that, visiting these other monarchs in their palaces, at the comfort zone of their palaces. One, he has traveled across the country, again building bridges. And now, the first summit of the monarchs at the African Union is here too. Luckily, he's meeting his colleague brothers from the original owners of America. These are the Native Americans. These are the owners of America. And like I said before our further talks, Confucius says there is indeed for everybody, all our needs is there on this planet Earth, provided by nature for everybody. All our needs is there. But because of the greed of some people, that's why we have poverty, pestilence in all societies of the world. And knowing fully well that traditional rulers are stakeholders too. You can't leave everything to the politicians. In actual fact, they took some of our duties, our roles from us. So we want to cooperate and collaborate to operate. And that's why UNESCO is finding it fit that this kind of gathering should be, well, you heard from the Ombudsman, the ambassador said it. He wants it to be annual thing, just like we have the General Assembly of the United Nations. They want the monarchs to come over here and brainstorm and rub minds in terms of for youth, for trade, economic policies. That's why we are making Baba is making history today. It's a dream of over 5 years. And I have a small speech before Baba talks. My name is I'm Oba. See, I told you before Baba came in. We kings are called Oba, but he is called Ooni. Like I said, nobody will have a child and name him Jesus Christ. So no other king can bear Oni. He's the only one that bears Oni, which is fully Oni Risha, Oni Le. Meaning that the owner of the land, I was telling you before he came in, that the Ark of Noah is in Ile-Ife. 3/4 of the world is water. Oloko, and that's the wife of Oduduwa. And that's why we really celebrate Oloko, the wife of the. So now here you are seeing Oduduwa and Oloko coming to physical world. Before we thank you, Ambassador, Excellency. We thank our Baba. On behalf, I am Oba Adire Bialita, Board of Trustees. That's the National Council Traditional Rulers of Nigeria. I bring you greetings from the National Council Traditional Rulers of Nigeria under the co-chairmanship of His Imperial Majesty Ooni of Ife and His Eminence Sultan of Sokoto. It's a pleasure to be back here in New York. It has been a home away from home for me. I'm always reminded of my student days at Columbia University on the east side, or the west side in America here, New York City. As Nigerian traditional rulers, we often derive our titles from the rulers of independent states, communities that existed before the formation of modern Nigeria. Although we do not have formal political power, in many cases we continue to command respect from our people and have considerable influence. Though our bearers usually maintain the monarchical style and titles of our sovereign ancestors, both our independent activities and our relations with the central and regional government of Nigeria are closer in substance to those of the high nobility of old Europe than to those of actual reigning monarchs. Modern Nigeria encompasses land traditionally occupied by highly diverse ethnic groups with very different languages and traditions. In broad terms, the southeast, including the Niger Delta, was occupied mainly by the Igbo and the related people, the southwest by the Yoruba nation and related people, and the north by the Hausa and Fulani people, with a complex intermingling of different ethnic groups in the middle belt between north and south. All of these components make up our council, which is the national umbrella of the traditional rulers in Nigeria, where is the chairman with the Sultan of Sokoto. In actual fact, Ooni of Ife is for the south, and the Sultan of Sokoto is for the north. And that supreme umbrella is under their watch. We thank you again for coming. It's the first summit, and we know by the grace of God and the grace of our ancestors, next year summit will be much larger than this. Because the Chinese proverb says, 1,000 miles starts with the first step. And this is the first step today. History is being made today. The League of Nations, which metamorphosed into United Nations, started somewhere. There was a need, there was a compelling need after the end of the Second World War. That it's better to judge than to war. When we have this inauguration today here, under the great watch of His Excellency Ambassador Antonio and His Imperial Majesty, I know we are going to go places. Mind over matter. What a person can perceive, that person can achieve it. And luckily, we have a brilliant monarch in Ife now. He's a visionary leader, and you can watch his vision, his mission, and his goal. He's a go-getter, and I've thoroughly watched. I'll be modest about it. It looks at the glass as half full, not half empty. And we thank God and the ancestors for giving us his capable, wonderful deity at this time of our contemporary lifetime. Thank you very much.
ò ẹ̀ parére Olúwa mi mọ̀ fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ o.
Thank you. It's been a very long day, but I wish the day will be extended by our Creator. For me, I don't even feel like living here because the King of Kings has created us. If you have been very mindful of several mysterious signs we've been seeing ever since we got to the United States yesterday, you will know that it's indeed a new dawn.
Yes.
It's indeed a new dawn for reality. It's indeed a new dawn for unity, and it's indeed a new dawn for peace. I thank His Excellency for accepting us. We've been moving around since morning. We are all making history today. It is not just happening. Ever since I started reasoning, having sense of right and wrong, I've been asking my leaders, my parents, and I've been asking my Creator, what is fundamentally wrong with the black nation? It's been very deep in my thoughts. At times I sit down, I think very deeply. I weep on my knees. I shed tears. That where did we get it wrong? And I've been shouting to my Creator that one day you provide the space for me. You will give me a place to stand, and I'll be part of the agent of change. By virtue of my revered position, I can only shed tears of joy internally. I am one of the happiest men on the surface of the planet today. And it's very simple. God gave everything to the black race. Like the ambassador said, the entire human race started from Africa. At some point, all the planets went together. You can see similarities in African culture and the Native Americans. I don't know how deep we are, how deeply we've been noticing things, yet we live in two different planets. But we have a lot of similarities. If you go as far as Australia, the Aborigines in Australia are black. They have our culture. They have our mannerism. And
And they have everything we stand for as the black race. And I thank God, the King of Kings, for bringing me to this position. This highly revered stool. And God started giving me the answer to what is fundamentally wrong with the black nation. God has given us everything. But what is fundamentally wrong with us is we lack love. We don't love one another. We are all cut out from the same cloth. Our colonial masters came. There was nothing like Angola before. There was nothing like Nigeria before. There was nothing like Ghana before. There was nothing like Togo. There was nothing like Guinea-Bissau. There were no boundaries. Each and every leader were able to secure their boundaries. And it's an understanding between leaders of different territories. They did things together with love and harmony. Anytime strangers move from one point to the other in Africa, they will notice. And they will either welcome the stranger if the stranger is extending a hand of fellowship. And if otherwise, they will go into war and attrition. But what is most important is in Africa, everything our colonial masters met. They met the kingship system and the proper administration that is common across the entire Africa. The only thing was just to divide us. Divide and rule. You will never ever blame our colonial masters. I don't blame them. We should blame ourselves. Brothers killing brothers. Brothers selling brothers out. Giving out information one way or the other. The entire continent of Africa, we only have one country that wasn't colonized by the colonial masters. And what kept them alive? Unity, strength, love for one another. And that's the country of Ethiopia. They couldn't penetrate that. Another country that will have had that similarity, it's a portion in Nigeria, the Kingdom of Benin. Benin Kingdom almost got that credit. It was very difficult for the colonial masters to penetrate Benin Kingdom. They recently penetrated Benin Kingdom in the late 18th century. And how did they penetrate Benin Kingdom? It was one of the owners, the natives of Benin, that gave out the tricks and the secret of that kingdom. And the kingdom had to subject themselves to our colonial masters. Where did they move out over 40 million slaves in the entire Africa? From two spots, in Ghana and in Nigeria. They moved out over 90% of slaves out of those two places. Who gave them the opportunity to move all of us out? It is we the blacks, selling ourselves out. We don't appreciate our values. But let us forget the past and focus on the future. We can't continue to cry over spilled milk. Let us go back to our source. Let us go back to our root. God has blessed us in Africa so much. Every wealth in this world is in Africa. There is no land in Africa that you cannot cultivate for agriculture. There is no land in Africa that is not good and ideal to plant a lot of things. The first cowrie discovered and was spent across every continent of the world came out of Africa. The first gold mined came out of Africa. In fact, a section of Africa was named Gold Coast before it was changed to a country called Ghana today. Until tomorrow, that is one of the greatest currencies in terms of reserves in the world. We know the essence of gold. God gave that to Africa. It is the same Africa that has the most purified crude oil in the world till date, with the lowest sulfur content. Yet, everybody in Africa, on the average, is living under less than $1 a day. Let us love ourselves. Let us go back to our traditional ways that is common across Africa as a continent. We have a lot of similarities. From Angola, you will see them wearing African attire, all the way to Mozambique, all the way to Mali, to Nigeria. We have our African print. How did it happen? It happened those days when there were no boundaries, when there were no Angola, when there were no Mauritius. Our ancestors knew how they were connecting borders. The same similarity to all of us in Africa, an African descent. We all have talking drums. There's nobody that does not have talking drums. The same similarity. We all threw cowries and bones to talk to our ancestors. Ladies and gentlemen, the fastest growing religion today is African religion. It is evident all over the world. Let us go back to our source, our root, to help our leaders. They cannot do it alone. We need to work together and love one another. We are all one and the same because we are leaders, because everything started out of Africa. Civilization started out of Africa. Every civilization today was being improved upon and it came out of Africa. The evidences are there. The facts are there. Ladies and gentlemen, let us love one another. Let us appreciate our God-given values and God-given heritage. Let us go back to our source. The source we were known for. God bless you all.
Okay, please, we know the time is pressing. Let's have the fashion show, please. Please come, the fashion show, please. Come over there very quickly. You know, we wait all day long because all the beauty that we have, we like His Imperial Majesty to see this. Please, come on very quick, please. Yeah, the fashion show. So thank you again for the word of wisdom. We really enjoy hearing from you, and we are looking forward to meeting all of you here next year. The fashion show. The fashion show already. Okay, good. They are coming. As they come, we like to reiterate the word.
Let somebody say yeah, yeah. Come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Clap, clap, come on, come on. You're beautiful people, come on, clap, 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 come on. Shocky, 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 oh yeah, shocky, 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 yeah, shocky the bumper. Oh yeah, shocky the bumper. Oh yeah, shocky the bumper. Oh yeah, shocky the bumper. Thank you. Okay, oh, this is Prince. Okay, thank you. Congratulations for this amazing work. We are looking forward next year to bring the whole world to see what Africa has to offer. Thank you. So one last thing, please. We have our sister from China, Yiling Li, who has a special gift for longevity and happiness. They want our Imperial Majesty to wish him happiness and long life. Him and he's the queen, so please, that's the last thing. From here. Oh, okay. Okay. Yes. Okay, please, yes. Very special. Yeah, please, yes. So, the Imperial Majesty is coming. Please give a round of applause. We saw the connection today we have with African, our Native American. Yeah, we saw. Yes. The ambassador, please. Yes. The queen. Longevity. Okay. A picture, please. Yes. The So please, we'd like to give him another round of applause for His Imperial Majesty. Today, we were lucky enough to see that it doesn't matter Native American, African, our sister from China, we are all the same, and this is a wonderful day. We wish you longevity, happiness, His Imperial Majesty. We are looking forward for your guidance with the ambassador on behalf of the U.S. Federation of Nassau Club, State Association, the President of the U.S. Federation. We can promise you that we are going to work very hard to make sure that next year, when we gather here, we have the whole world. We have the whole world with us. Thank you very much, please, again. A round of applause, please. Round of applause. Okay. Okay? Yes. Here we have, please.
Please, here's Mr. Please, we have the president. Yeah. Hello, please. This is Dr. Adam.